Hello and welcome back to the Good, Bad, and the Ugly series, where today we're going to be focusing on the Netherlands as we head into the 2026 World Cup. Now, normally we start with the good, but in this particular one, we're going to start with the ugly. And if you haven't realized it by now, Netherlands is going to be our big surprise of the tournament. And so, because of that, we want to switch this one up to end on a high note for you guys to understand why we're rating this team so highly. But of course, we have to start with the ugly, and the ugly is Ronald Koeman. And I'm not saying that just because he's a ginger. I'm saying that because of the fact that I do think that this is a manager that lacks, let's just say, the tactical know-how to, I think, be able to best someone like a Tuchel or a Scaloni in a one-off game where it could really come down to the manager and how that team is set up to win it. Yeah, you've had this guy as the manager of your club over at Barcelona. He's been bouncing back and forth between this like national team job and clubs, and it seems like he's found a natural place because it's the only real place where he can really excel. And I think you then have to ask, why has this guy not been able to kick on and do something bigger at the club stage when he's definitely tried to go down that path before? I think you would know better than anybody to tell us why.
Yeah. So when it comes to Koeman, he is your typical manager that was an amazing player. So let's be honest, he doesn't believe much in tactics. He is the he is the perfect manager if you are in a club or let's say even a national team where you are just so much better than everybody else. I think he kind of gives that aura of we're just better than you. We're just gonna go up there. We're just gonna beat you with the bats, and that's why this is the ugly for them because they are good. They're not that good.
No.
They need. There's gonna be games. I would say a lot of them, given the fact of how we're like most probably they're gonna go in the bracket, where they're gonna play teams that where like they're gonna need that tactical edge. And I'm scared for them in that sense. I'm really scared for them in that sense because I don't think he brings anything like to the table. I mean, like when it comes to tactical awareness, I really don't think that there is a single thing. I think he's the type of manager that he's gonna pick his 11, and you're not gonna see much changes after that. And the subs are gonna be your typical subs. When he's leading, he's just gonna put a bunch of defenders, and when he's losing, he's gonna put a bunch of attackers. That's pretty much how he played at Barcelona, and that's pretty much how he played everywhere. There's not gonna be something that you say, "Oh man, wow, tactical move here." No, there's gonna be like for like. With the moment he's leading, he's gonna take out an attacker to put a midfielder, and the moment he's losing, he's gonna take a midfielder to put an attacker. I mean, you do not have to watch the game. I'm telling you right now, that's how it's gonna go. And yeah, I completely agree with you. That is sort of like a lot of people will probably say it's their attack and their lack of goals, but the real Achilles heel is Koeman and how at this point, especially in today's football, how like we see a lot, it's very tactical, and I think that's translating to national like teams where it's just tactical and tactical and more tactics when it comes to set pieces, when it comes to like the way that teams defend, the way that teams like set you up. And I think like Holland is the complete opposite, especially like with him. Not much tactics here, a lot of vibes, a lot of we're like Holland, we're a big nation, we're just gonna be I'm with the jersey. Let's see if that doesn't cause them the World Cup.
Let's see if it doesn't cause them the World Cup at all. Let's see. Now, you did mention a little bit of the bad, and that is the lack of goals. You look at their front line, and there's not a lot to offer. I think Memphis Depay is going to be leading the line for them. Maybe Gakpo off the left-hand side, and there's probably a possibility where Frimpong, who's a right back, is actually going to be the one starting for them on the right wing, especially with that Xavi Simmons injury. So it's not a team that screams goals and attacking flair. Definitely a bad that needs to be mentioned. However, and I don't know if maybe this is the time to start transitioning right into the good. I don't think it's going to be as much of an issue as people think it is, because the reality is you look at Spain and you have to ask the same question: where are the goals going to come from there? But nobody questions it. Nobody looks at it as a problem because of how technically gifted all of those players are, especially in the middle of the park, and that goals can come from a little bit of everywhere. But that's the same way that I look at this Holland team, because when I look at the good, I see a team that is so physically intimidating, a team that is so physically powerful, not only in terms of their height, but their strength, their pressing, their running, truly physically gifted players, but also so technically gifted. Incredible ball playing center backs, incredible technically gifted fullbacks that can defend very well, but can also attack very well. And probably, at least in my eyes right now, the best midfielders, at least on current form. You have a midfield of Gravenberch, Reinders, Frankie de Jong, Koopman-Miners. I mean, good luck trying to take the ball away from those guys. So I look at this Netherlands team, and as much as there is a very lack of, let's say, an all-out number 9, which a country like the Netherlands has historically always been able to provide, they are so strong defensively. They are so strong in the middle of the park. They have so much physicality. They have so much technical ability that I struggle to see how a team is going to really be able to impose themselves on them, whether from a physical perspective or a technical perspective. I don't think you can impose yourself on this Netherlands team, no matter what way. Like like even if they were, for example, even if they were to lose, I don't even think you beat them. Like I think I've only ever seen Netherlands lose either like an extra time or on penalties. Like I there's no way that you can actually impose yourself onto the Netherlands team where you're going to be the protagonist. I don't care which nation you are. Those guys, some way, somehow, are going to stay in that game, and they have so many tools at their disposal to beat you. It's insane. I'm fascinated by them, I am. I'm fascinated by them.
Yeah, I mean to go back, Frimpong is actually not in the squad, so like Daniel Marlin will be like the one to play from the
Okay,
right.
sorry about that.
And he's actually been on great form at Roma, so be careful with him that he doesn't back up few goals. Javi, like what you were saying is actually perfect. And I was just thinking about it. I actually think that the World Cup like suits them a lot more than the Euros. And the reason and that is because when you look at them, they are the European team that it's more similar to South American team when it comes to just like the physical and shithousery. It's the same thing with Argentina. They're a South American team that are very close to like to Europeans because of how technical they are. I think that the World Cup, just when it comes to that being physical, to the certain like referees that they get, that suits them so much better, so much better. They could do so many things. Their defense, I'm just like you, how I'm in the final. I think like this team, it's so good. Their defense itself, like you said, a lot of people, oh, their lack of goals. Right? They don't need to score goals. They don't. You can't score on them. You literally cannot score on them. Find me a better defense than them. Just one. Just give me one defense. Like there isn't one that's even come close. You want to talk about France just because they have names, sure, but it's not even close. They have a great goalkeeper, a great goalkeeper. They have the best defense. Their midfield is amazing, and the attack. People, like you said, people are acting like they're gonna put you and I out there, like attacking. Gakpo is a player that yeah, he's not like the best player in the world, but he's a guy that has shown performances like for Holland. Donny Marlin has been on great form, so I expect him to score goals. I expect him to score goals and call me crazy. I don't think they're gonna need that many goals to score to score that many goals in order to win, because you're not gonna score that many goals on them. They have Virgil van Dijk and Julian Timber, I'm with Dumfries and Van der Beek. How are you gonna score on them? And their midfield is amazing. Their
Bro,
team
it's
is just
insane.
an amazing team who's technical, who's physical, who could shithouse you. They could take penalties as well. They're tall, so they could beat you on set pieces. They could defend set pieces. What's
Yep.
the weak link? That they can't score goals?
But even then,
Sure,
man,
okay.
like they'll throw Wild Weghorst and all these freaking giants up there and just start hoofing balls into the box. And they're gonna win those headers and they're gonna knock the ball down. They're gonna it's insane, bro. These guys can play like 4-3-3 total football, and they can also play like 4-4-2 hoof it long, and we're gonna win on this, and we're gonna win.
Yeah.
Like it's insane, dude. Like it's actually insane. But you know what? Like what really captures me, Yadi, and what really I think makes it good. And I remember like you said this when we were kids, and you said that like the World Cup is so great because it's every 4 years, but because it really kind of tells you like where the cycle is in football, like right now, right? Like every single World Cup, it kind of tells you like, okay, where is the game today? And I think I look at that Champions League final, right, of Arsenal versus PSG, the two best teams in Europe facing off, and it tells you exactly where the football is. Because you have on the
Yep.
PSG side, you had a team that was incredibly technical, relying on rotations, total football, and just having technically gifted quality players. And then on the Arsenal side, you have the complete opposite, but rather a team that is very physically imposing, very strong, tall, good in set pieces, physical. And that tells me that where the modern game is right now, if you want to make it all the way to the end, if you really want to impose yourself in the game and win, you either have to be incredibly physical or you have to be incredibly technical. This Netherlands team has both of those things in abundance. They're
Yeah.
technically gifted and they're incredibly physical. There isn't a single team in world football today that possesses both of those qualities, and this Netherlands team has that in abundance. And that's exactly why I
Yeah.
believe that they're going to go all the way to the final. It's why I believe they can even win the whole freaking thing. But it's because when I look at the demands of modern football today, they have those two ingredients. No other team has that.
Yeah. And another thing that we talked about in the Portugal video, so like we encourage you guys to go and watch it, is the fact that, believe it or not, they played all these World Cups. You never see them nervous, which is kind of weird. Like given the fact that they're a team that they have never won the World Cup, the game is never too big for them. The stage is never too big for them. They always show up, which is so weird because they have had some pretty bad teams, and for some reason they always show up. It's actually insane, and I think now they've actually improved with the goalkeeper that they have. They have a goalkeeper that could save penalties. He's a very good goalkeeper. They have guys that could take penalties. This is a team. I think honestly, when I look at them, just like Argentina checks every box, and of course, I'm like we can't compare just the fact that Argentina, all of Argentina's attackers will be stars in this team. These guys check every box too, and they check the box of the shit house as well. They check the box of just making the game ugly, making the game dirty. They check the box of playing in different ways, and we even saw that 4 years ago. Like we did, like we saw them play on the United States in a great way, going forward, attacking, fullback to fullback, scoring goals. And then we
Yeah,
saw
it's
them
for
with
sure back
Argentina.
three.
Exactly. And then we saw them with Argentina, pretty much a battle. A South American style game, battle, goes to penalty, anybody could have won. They faced a team with the best goalkeeper, like
Mhm.
in that specific category. But that just shows you how good this team is. I honestly, the books have them seventh favorite. I My mind cannot comprehend that.
Yeah.
It really can't comprehend that. When you look at it and you say, how do you have this goalkeeper, this defense? Like the defense is actually out of this
It's
world.
insane.
Like do people not realize what this defense could do to you?
Dude,
And then
Nathan
that
Ake,
midfield,
Dumfries, Hato, Timber, Van Hecky, Van Dyke, Van de Ven. I mean, take your pick.
like I'm telling you, how are you going to beat those guys? Like every single one of those guys, it's a beast. Like physically, they could go up man with the best attackers in the world. And then technically, like you can't even like pressure them
You
because
can't
they
press
will
him.
play throughout the back. The young will drop in. Like, how are you going to press this team? How are you going to get physical with them? You literally can't.
And
And
the
one thing
goals
that you
can
said,
come from
Javi,
multiple places as well, because Reinders can score goals,
yes,
Gravenberch can
yes,
score goals, De Jong can score goals, Depay can score
yes.
goals, and if all else fails, they'll score off a freaking set piece because they're a
And
bunch of
like you said,
giants.
we saw in the Champions League final the defensive team versus the technical team, right? How did that look?
Came down to
It took,
penalties.
it came down to penalties. Everybody knows that it's harder to create than to like defend. Everybody knows that. And these guys have that ability with just better, like even better players. It's actually insane for me how they go under the radar. People are not
Yeah.
really paying attention. But it also feels like they do that every World Cup. Every World Cup, everybody's like, oh, they're gonna get bounced in the group stage, they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that. Then they show up and they do what they have to do. This is an amazing team. This is an
Hey,
amazing
you, you
team.
you you told me something off camera about the Netherlands that blew my mind, and I want to make sure that you say it about how like they haven't even lost a World Cup game.
Yeah. For example, I'm 26, I'll be 27. In my lifetime, I haven't seen them lose a World Cup game. Because in 2006 they lost, but I mean I don't know. I was also watching that because I was very young. 2010 they lost in extra time to Spain in a game that they could have easily won. 2014 they lost in penalties to Argentina. 2018 they didn't qualify, and then in Qatar 4 years ago they lost in penalties. That just shows you that when the knockout stages come, they
You
are
don't
not
beat them
just
in 90 minutes.
there. You do not beat them in 90 minutes. You do not beat them in 90 minutes. He has taken Argentina penalties twice. And let's be honest, like when it comes to like penalties and this type of things, that's like a graph. At some point, your luck is gonna change.
Yep.
That's just how sports are. When you are due, you are due. And at some point, their next penalty shootout, I will guarantee you, it doesn't matter who it is against, except Argentina, they're gonna win it because it just gets to a point where you are due and you're gonna win at some point. And at some point, they're gonna go into an extra time game and they're also gonna win it because that's just how it is. This team does not lose, and they are just so much better now. Their defense, I am literally in awe of their defense. I look at that defense and I just do like I just want to see them play. I know that the midfield is amazing. I know they have three amazing players. I just want to see that defense, and I really hope that we get to see them go up against France or Spain or a type of that team where you could really see the best attackers up against the best defenders. And we'll see what happens there. But I fancy them a lot because they're just so complete, and I think they will score a lot more goals than people are giving them credit for.
Could not agree more. Let us know if you guys agree as well. Are we overhyping this Netherlands team, or are we just giving them the proper flowers that they deserve? Because in our eyes, they're definitely one of the most complete outfits out there. We'd love to know what you guys think. Let us know.